Yes, those exhaust pipes are pretty much of a dead giveaway, aren't they? Here's Chris Holden to tell us all about his very nice V8 powered grey Fergie project and do a little bit of work with it too.
Alright, what we've got here is a 1956 Ferguson tractor. Being 1956, it's the last of them, because 1957 they went over to Massey Ferguson 35s. So this has got all the updates in it, which is stronger than the early Ferguson tractors, and it's now got the Holden 253 V8 in it. Now, I wouldn't advise anyone to put a V8 into the early Fergies, whereas this one you can get away with it a bit more. It's got everything's a bit stronger, the axle's a bit stronger, the back end's stronger, it can handle it. You can bury the scarifier here as much as you can and you still won't break it. Now, however, I bought it in 2009 as it is. Another engineering company had put the motor into it. However, when I got it home, I found that it had been painted over rust. So I stripped all the paint right off it, sandblasted that, and painted it all back up again. And the motor was wanting to twist a little bit, and I added a lot more steelwork in underneath. The motor that we've got in it is a Holden motor, Australian version of the GM, 253 being 4.2 litre. Now, because the Holden motor in a car, it's got its own engine mounts, hence being just here. But on a tractor, you have to use the motor to support the front axle. So what I've done, I've brought steelwork from the bell housing right through to the front of the tractor to hold the axle and all the front end of the tractor. I'm still using the engine mounts as well as what I've put on there. I've used 6mm steel plate to box it all in. I'm still using the original sump, so I'm still using the same amount of oil that was in there. Nothing's really changed with the motor, still an original old Holden motor. Now we'll have a look under the bonnet. As you can see, everything is stock standard except for the air cleaner, and we've got a klaxon horn on top just to blow at the kids when we're going on street parades. Alternator, I've put a bigger alternator on. Everything else is still the way it is when it comes out of a car. Nothing's really changed. Now, as you can see, there used to be a fuel tank on top where the original Ferguson ones were. That's all had to come out to allow for the air cleaner, because the Ferguson air cleaners were back here. And now the fuel tank has been replaced now by these tanks on the side. I've made two identical tanks, one for either side, which act as a step for when I'm getting on and off as well. Now, to get the motor in there, all the front end has been moved forward about 10 inches. So it's had a piece put in the bonnet across here. The steering arms have had about 10 inches put in just here. Everything else has just been pushed forward just a little bit. So it's all still Ferguson front end, still Ferguson radiator, everything Ferguson back end. People think V8, very dangerous, but no, not this one at all, it's very good. Now, I went on a tractor track recently, the exhaust pipes were only down here, the muffler the pipes were, and all the fumes were blowing back onto me. So last week, I took it to the muffler shop and I said, put some bigger pipes on it for me. And they put them up over my head now. I'm still not real happy with them because it being stainless steel, it's a bit tinny now, it's a bit more noise in there. And it's obstructing my vision a little bit, so I don't know what to do there. I don't know whether to bring the pipes down and out, but that's still, I've got to sleep on that a bit more. Now, what has changed on the Fergie 2, these back tyres are off a later model Ferguson, Massey Ferguson, off the 35s. These are now 24 inch, the original ones are only 28s. That gives me a bit more grip on the ground, and plus half filled up with water, gives me a bit more pulling power. The seat has been changed from the old pan seat, which is highly recommended, and we've gone to the Bearco seat on it now, spring-loaded seat. It's really good. Steering wheel is Bearco, it's not original, but it looks original. We've got a ROPS cage on it, which should have on there anyway, and for added protection I put blinkers on and a flashing light on top for when I travel on the road. I only go on the tractor tracks, and I go on the tractor pulls occasionally. I can't compete with the big tractors, but still I can still beat the little tractors, the little normal Fergie tractors. And not only that, it draws the crowd. It's the noise of it. Everybody, all the crowd comes around and has a look, and then I can buzz off and all the big tractors can come in then while the crowd's still there. So yeah, so basically it's still like a Fergie. You still start it the same off the gear stick. For those who don't know how you start a Fergie, you turn the key on and you start it with the gear stick. It's a safe method. You cannot ever be in gear because you're using the gear stick to go and starting it. Now the heating of it does overheat a little bit. We've put a thermostat, we've put a thermo fan on it. Now shortly I'm going to get that radiator cleaned out. The radiator in it is still original, Ferguson, 4-cylinder Ferguson one, but we're going to get it cleaned out. And they assured me that should be ample size for the Holden motor. But it does take a fair bit to heat it up though, but I just want to get it right. Now the paint work on it, when you go to buy paint from a paint shop for the Fergusons, there are 2 different colours you can get. Unfortunately, this one is fractionally too dark, just a fractionally dark, doesn't matter. I had a show, I might park next to someone else who's made the same mistake and they're dark too, so it doesn't matter. So yeah, we'll make some noise now and we'll go bury this scarifier. Talking about the scarifier too, it is a Ferguson scarifier. It is the last of the Ferguson scarifiers. It's got the updates on it, the stronger beam on top, which is good behind this tractor because this tractor won't break it. It's a stronger one. So alright, I'm yet to restore that one, so that's why it's not painted yet. Alright, we'll go make some noise and see what we can do.